Hey, Maniacs.
Hey, Maniacs.
I don't think you have to do it that way. Just to let people know how exhausted we are. You may have noticed this episode is a little bit shorter. There's a reason for that.
Okay, right off the top, this is supposed to be season 1, episode 7, The Devil's Dusk, Father Brown. We're not covering that. First of all, it is a sad episode.
Not only is it sad, it's full of hateful people.
Especially Mrs. M.
Hateful.
She's horrible.
And frankly, when we cover an episode of a show that is tough, it's about Nazis, it's about racists, it's about somebody who died of cancer.
Yep.
We try to find the little glimmers of quirky fun and sanity in it. And I don't know if it's just because I'm really exhausted because it's the end of the semester and my students are emailing me every 35 seconds, or this episode is just so dark. The only thing I could find is that Dr. Bennett, is that right?
Yep.
Has framed pictures of mushroom clouds in his living room like they're his ex-girlfriends.
I don't really, like, those are his ex-girlfriends.
Like, that's it. That's all I could find.
I researched Geiger counters and then realized we'd researched them before. And I researched the jewelry and realized we talked about it before.
And frankly, the way Mrs. M acts in front of that first committee meeting about that poor little girl, it just disgusted me. I know later in the episode, and even then, Father Brown corrects her and that her character changes. And I'm really glad. Otherwise, if this was the only episode of Father Brown I ever watched, I don't think I would watch anymore.
Well, the thing
it's not indicative of the series.
The thing about the ending that I like is Mrs. M tries to brush it all aside, and Father Brown doesn't let her.
No, he calls her out.
He calls.
And she does change. Her character does change. So if you've never watched Father Brown, please know Mrs. M is not always horrible. She does come around. She grows. But this is her lowest point. And the whole village, she's a little girl. She's sick. Come on. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
And then I researched the whole asbestos thing, and I was like, this doesn't really work like that, and it's worse than that. And,
it's just
so much.
So
we are literally exhausted.
I'm losing words.
Last week,
when I talk, and that's really hard.
Last week, we released 2 podcasts and did 6 other incredible things before Friday. I'm a little tired.
I think everybody's probably tired. It's not just us. This is not us just whining. I bet all of you out there is something in your life right now that's exhausting you, and I'm sorry for that thing.
So we're going to call this The Devil's Dust, the lost episode.
Yes.
We recorded it. It was really funny, but it didn't record.
We swept it into the dustpan where it belonged.
Olive barfed on it or something.
She can barf on digital files now.
Yeah,
it's
I
impressive.
Guess so. It's impressive.
Yeah. Funny thing that did happen this week, though, is we put out that Father Bane reel, and people really liked the photos I did of everybody wearing the Bane mask.
Most watched reel. If you haven't seen it, we go over the Father Bane bit from
the beginning of last week's episode.
But it has pictures.
Yes. Of people wearing the Bane mask from Father Brown.
Yeah.
And, maybe this Devil's Dust episode would be better if Mrs. M was muzzled in that damn mask the whole episode.
Maybe. Absolutely. If you did watch the episode this week, thank you for watching it. I didn't send out a reminder because we knew this was going to happen, but thank you for watching it. And we are definitely covering the next episode, which is just season 1, episode 8, The Face of Death. It's like an escape room party with death in it.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
There's all kinds of fun stuff in it, and we will absolutely cover it. And we will still put out a mini episode this Thursday for the next episode of season 24 of Midsomer. We're super excited.
Death. I just noticed that Mrs. Cadell is in that episode. Her 3rd Midsomer appearance.
Yes. She of the dryer.
She returns.
But before we say goodbye, another thing that happened this week is that we sent out our newsletter. And in that newsletter, I included my favorite cookie recipe, which is for oatmeal lace cookies.
Which some of you have already made.
That's so fun.
You're
Thank you.
Fantastic, Maniacs.
Well, it's a good cookie recipe.
Yes.
People recognize, they look at it and they go, ooh, that sounds tasty. And so I'm glad that folks tried it. It's not like it's an unheard of cookie.
Yeah, we got mail from people who had been listening to the show forever, and this was their first email they sent. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad people liked them. I bake every Sunday. Every Sunday I bake cookies, I make cupcakes, I make something that I take to work on Monday and that we eat at home throughout the week. I always make some kind of treat. And I'm always looking for new recipes. So here's the challenge. I have given those of you who subscribe to the newsletter my recipe for my favorite cookie that's a little out of the ordinary. It's not just your thumbprint, peanut butter, sugar cookie, run-of-the-mill, okay cookie. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a candy. If you have a similar cookie that you make in your family that is odd, that is different, email us the recipe and I will try it.
Yep, and we'll take pictures and...
We can call it the Mystery Maniacs Weird Cookie Challenge.
No, we're not going to do reviews because that's kind of unfair.
No. I'm sure they'll all be great.
I'm sure they'll all be great.
But I will make them. So send me your weird cookie recipes. It's got to be something that you make, not some gross thing that you made up or that you found on the internet. Something that you and your family actually like, but is a little out of the ordinary. Send us the recipe via email at
mysterymaniacspodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. Email it to us. Email me those recipes. I will make your freaky cookies.
Also, before we forget, we're coming close to the end of the year, so our merch donation will be made later on, probably in January, but any merch that you purchase between now and Christmas, well, it was really from June till Christmas.
Yep.
Goes to help prenatal care in Sierra Leone.
They're building a hospital.
They're
It's
building
amazing.
a hospital. So
Somebody said I should make a Father Brown t-shirt. Father Bane
a
t-shirt.
Father Bane t-shirt.
Yes.
I really don't want A, Tom Hardy, B, DC Comics, or C, Batman coming after us.
Yeah, those are heavy hitters.
Those are.
Though, if Tom Hardy wants to visit us,
Oh, if Tom Hardy wants to be on the
That's cool.
show, he is more than welcome.
I would chat with Tom
Yes.
Hardy anytime,
Yes.
but I'd prefer that he not be mad at me.
I
He's
realize
a big guy.
we've never covered a show that Tom Hardy has been
don't
on.
care.
But I don't care. Do the Bane voice, dude.
Do I get to look at him? Then it's all good.
Yeah.
Sorry, honey. All right. Send me your freaky cookie recipes, you maniacs. I'll try them. And again, apologies for this. I'm sure you've all been there. You've all had those weeks. We're still here for you.
We return on the 14th for Midsomer Murders Season 24, Episode 2, The Book of the Dead. And then we'll have one more full episode the next Monday. And then 2 more minis to clear off the year.
Yes.
So really, the whole offshoot of all of this is take some time off. You don't have to do everything. Don't be hard on yourselves.
No.
It's the time of the year to wind down and have
Too many
some-
people during the holiday season just end up doing more.
Yes.
And it's fun to do things for people, but not if it's stressful.
We're going to have to accept that our listeners are only going to get 10 podcasts in
a
8
month.
weeks instead of 11 podcasts in 8
This
weeks.
counts. It's just a shorty.
It's just a short.
That's all. It's a shorty.
It's a shorty. Okay.
But it includes the epic Mystery Maniac Freaky Cookie Challenge. So, that makes it a full-length episode right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Last year we were eating pies at this point.
That's true. New Zealand pies.
Yep.
This year, Freaky Cookies.
Freaky cookies.
I'm on it.
Okay.
Bye, Maniacs.
Bye, Maniacs. See you Thursday.
Freaky cookies. Freaky cookies. Freaky cookies. Freaky cookies.